Imagine you are living in the Victorian era, mid-19th century England. Women at that time stood out with wide, puffed skirts, layered with fabric, sometimes with a circumference of over 3 meters. These elaborate dresses were not only symbols of fashion and social status, but also a real challenge when it came to attending to personal needs. So how did Victorian ladies go to the bathroom while wearing such large dresses? First, imagine how dresses were sewn during that period. Victorian dresses often consisted of multiple layers: wide-legged underpants, petticoats, hoop skirts, crinoline or bustle, outer skirts, along with many accessories such as corsets, jackets, and garters. Notably, the crinoline, a wide steel or wicker frame that helped the skirt flare out, made moving and sitting down extremely inconvenient, not to mention using the restroom. The answer to this difficult question lies in both the design of the clothing and the dexterity of women at that time. First of all, Victorian women's underwear was not like today's. They were usually 2 separate pant legs, joined at the waist but completely open at the bottom. This allowed ladies to sit on the toilet or chamber pot without having to remove all the layers of skirts above. The toilets are also very different. In homes, wealthy families have flush toilets, a novel invention at that time. However, many places still use a chamber pot, a small earthenware pot placed in the bedroom or under the dressing table. When needed, women just gently lift their skirts, sit on the pot, and that's it, without having to remove anything. With large skirts, women have developed excellent skills to handle the situation. They know how to use one hand to hold the front layers of the skirt, the other hand at the back, gently lifting just enough to avoid exposing skin while still creating the necessary space. They also practice special sitting postures to avoid spilling chamber pots or getting the skirt dirty. Many women are even carefully taught this ritual by their mothers or older sisters when they reach adulthood. When going outside, things became more difficult. Public restrooms for women almost did not exist at the beginning of the Victorian era. It was only by the late 19th century that ladies' convenience, public restrooms for women, appeared in major cities like London. Before that, if absolutely necessary, women often used a portable urinal, a compact device made of ceramic, metal, or porcelain, called a urinette, or ladies' convenience. This device was specially designed to be used discreetly under wide skirts, even while riding in a carriage or in places without restrooms. In particular, those giant dresses become an advantage in these situations. The wider the dress, the easier it is to hide the use of a potty or personal hygiene tools. If skillful, women can handle everything without anyone around noticing, even in public places. It is also impossible not to mention the assistance from close maids. Wealthy women often have 1 or 2 personal servants, ready to help remove outer layers of clothing, hold their skirts, or bring a chamber pot when needed. Some documents also mention the crinoline lady's aid, small hooks, hanging straps, or supporting frames inside the skirt that help hold the skirt up higher when sitting down to use the toilet. In fact, newspapers of that time even featured advertisements for easy-to-use skirts with special designs that helped women quickly and neatly manage without affecting the outer appearance. In addition, Victorian women also had unwritten rules about diet and lifestyle when going out. They often limited drinking a lot of water before major events, used the restroom before leaving the house, and tried not to stay out too long to avoid having to deal with inconvenient situations. Over time, along with the development of the sewer system, flush toilets, and improvements in clothing design, it became easier for women to use the restroom. The heavy crinoline skirts were gradually replaced by lighter, more streamlined dresses, and underwear was designed to be discreet and convenient. At the same time, the women's rights movement and the emergence of public restrooms for women contributed to freeing women from those silent difficulties. It is fascinating to look back at history and realize that behind the glamorous, beautiful, puffed dresses lies a refined art of living and countless practical innovations by women of the past. They were not only symbols of elegance, but also proof of adaptability, creativity, and the courage to overcome very ordinary challenges, even if it was just a private moment, seemingly small in their everyday lives.